Good morning to all. Hope you all are fine. So, in previous class, we have discussed the topic and introduction to biology. Today, we will study the first chapter of biology. The name of the chapter is Plant Life, that is the leaf. In this chapter, we will study about the plant, the root, the stem, the leaf, type of leaves, venation of leaf, function of leaves, modification of leaves, modification of leaves in insectivorous plant, vegetative propagation in leaves. So these are the topic which we will study in this chapter. So first of all, we will study about the plant. We see variety of plant around us. Some may be small, some may be big. Some plant bear flowers, some plant bear fruits. So there is large variation in the leaf of plant too. Most of the flowering plant grow from a seed. So in a seed, embryo contain an embryonic root called radicle and embryonic shoot called plumule. The radicle grow downward into the soil and form root system, while the plumule grow upward above the ground and form shoot system. So in plant, it is divided into two parts, that is shoot system and the root system. There you can see the figure of mustard plant. So the root system is divided into root, while the shoot system is divided into stem, leaf, fruit, flower, bud. Next is the root. Root fix the plant firmly into the soil. They absorb water, minerals for the growth of the plant. So the root system are of two types: taproot system, fibrous root system. You can see the figure 1.2. Both type of roots are given there. So taproot system. In this taproot system, one single primary root elongate and further branch out into fine branches. Example of taproot system is root of pea, podina plant. Next is fibrous root system. In fibrous root system, cluster of root arises from the base of the stem. You can see easily from one part only so many roots are arising in fibrous root system. Examples are root of grass, wheat, rice. Next is the stem. A stem is the main part of a plant that usually grow above the ground. So it is growing above the ground part. It bears, so it contains branches, leaves, fruits, buds, and flowers. So there are three types of stems here. Easily you can see the pictures also, figure 1.3. So first is soft stem, second hard and woody stem, third is trunk of a tree. So what is soft stem? These stems are green in color. Generally herbs have soft stem. So they are very soft, and herb is having soft stem. So they can be easily broken with the hand also. Next is hard and woody stem. This type of stem arises from the base of a plant and form a bush. Most of the shrub have this type of stem, so they can't be easily broken down. Next is trunk. Trunk is the stem of a tree is called trunk. It is thick, hard and strong stem that is covered with bark. So now up to here we studied about root, plant and stem. So we can easily differentiate between the root and stem, as root generally grow under the ground while the stem grow above the ground. Roots are non-green in color while stem are always green in color, and they perform the process of photosynthesis. The root does not bear all the vegetative part like leaves, flower and fruits. The stem always bears the vegetative part of the plant. Now next topic is the leaf. A leaf is a flat, thin, usually green structure that arises from the node present on the stem. It has an axillary bud in its axil. A typical leaf has the following main part. Leaf. So in that first is the leaf. So leaf base. The part joining the leaf to the stem at the end of petiole is called the leaf base. It is a small and slightly swollen part by which a leaf is attached to the stem. Next is leaf stalk or petiole. It is a short, narrow and basal part of a leaf which hold up the leaf blade and connect it to the stem. Most of the leaf connect with the stem like this. You can see in the picture, and they are called as petiolate leaf. In some plant, petiole is absent and the leaf directly arises from the stem. Next is axillary bud. It is a type of bud developed at the axil of a leaf. It is capable of developing into a branch of shoot or a cluster of flower. Next is leaf blade. The flat, expanded and thin part of the leaf is called leaf blade or lamina. It is mostly green in color. Its tip is called leaf apex. Leaf margin. The edge of the leaf blade is called leaf margin. Different leaves have different type of margins. Midrib. The leaf blade have a thick midrib along its center. Veins. Lateral branches of midrib are called veins. Now next is type of leaves. Leaves may be of two types, simple leaf and compound leaf. Simple leaf has only one leaf blade or lamina. You can see in the diagram figure 1.6, simple leaf like mango leaf is there, or some other name also we can say. Plant name papaya also contains simple leaf. Other one is now compound leaf, that is of the name. So a compound leaf is one in which the leaf plate is clearly divided into many distinct parts. We call it as leaflets. Example is their name, or we can say rose also there. Next is venation of leaf. Arrangement of vein and veinlets on the leaflet is called venation. Two types of venation are there, parallel venation and reticulate venation. So the figure 1.7 is there. So what is parallel venation? In this type of venation, the veins of the leaf run parallel to each other. Example like leaf of maize, banana. Reticulate venation. In this type of venation, the vein and veinlets of the leaf are interconnected over the entire lamina. forming a web-like network. Example like leaf of kestrel, people, people and mango tree. Next is function of leaves. So function of leaf is divided into, it contains three parts: manufacture of food, transpiration and gaseous exchange. First of all, we will discuss about the manufacturing of food. The main function of leaf is to prepare food for the plant. The green leaf prepare food for the plant in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll by a process called photosynthesis. So in this process, leaves are using carbon dioxide and water to prepare the food in the form of starch. And in this process, oxygen gas is released as the green leaf prepare food for the plant. They are called food factory of the plants. They have given the equation here: carbon dioxide gas plus water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll will give out starch plus oxygen gas. Next is transpiration. Excess water absorbed by the root of plant is released into the air through tiny pores present on the lower surface of the leaf. These tiny pores we call it as stomata. So the process of releasing excess water by the plant is called transpiration. So what is its work? It keeps the plant cool. Next is gaseous exchange. During the day, for performing photosynthesis, plant take carbon dioxide and release oxygen through the stomata. Plant, like other living organisms, respire continuously day and night. In the process of respiration, they take oxygen and release carbon dioxide through the stomata. Now next topic is modification of leaf. Beside the primary functions such as photosynthesis and transpiration, in some plants the leaves are modified to carry out some specific function. So what are the functions of modification of leaves are here they are. So first one is leaf tendrils. You can see the figure. In many weak stemmed plant, the whole leaf or a part of leaf get modified into thin thread-like coiled structure called leaf tendril. The tendril provides suitable support in climbing of weak stem. For example, the upper leaflet of sweet pea are modified into the tendrils. Next is leaf spine. So you can see the figure there of leaf spine of cactus plant. So leaf of certain plant get modified to provide protection and to reduce water loss. Example, as we can see in the diagram, cactus plant. So leaves are modified into spines and reduce the loss of water by transpiration, because as the cactus plant grow in desert areas and there is this scarcity of water, means water is not present in large amount. The leaf spine also protect the plant from the grazing animals like goat and sheep. Next is the scale leaves. There are two diagrams you can see in that A and B part. Scale leaves are thin and dry structures which are usually brownish in color or colorless. They take up the function of protecting the auxiliary bud as a ginger. In onion, they store food prepared by the plant and become thick and fleshy. So they have shown thick and fleshy scale leaf of the onion bulb and scaly leaf of the ginger. Next is modification of leaves in insectivorous plant. Insectivorous plants such as pitcher plant, Venus flytrap, and bladderwort are adapted to grow in soil which does not have enough minerals, especially nitrogen. These plants feed on insects to obtain minerals. For this, they are modified to trap the insect. They have chlorophyll in their leaf that help them in making of food. Some of the examples are first one is in the pitcher plant. The lamina of the leaf is modified into trapping device. We call it as pitcher. The leaf apex form the lid of the pitcher and petiole coil like a tendrils. So as soon as the insect enter the pitcher, the lid closes and insect get trapped and digested by the juice secreted at the bottom of the pitcher. Now Venus flytrap. The edge of the leaf has long pointed hair. The lamina of leaf is divided into two parts having a matrix. When an insect visits the plant, the leaf suddenly closes and the insect gets trapped and digested by the juice secreted by the leaf. Next is bladderwort. The leaves of bladderwort are highly segmented. Some segments form bladder-like structures. When an insect enters through the opening, it gets trapped and get digested by the juice secreted by the leaves. So you can see here figure 1.15 all the example which I explained there pictures is there pitcher plant, Venus flytrap, bladderwort. So you can easily see how the insect get trapped in it. So now last topic is our now vegetative propagation in leaf. So this is the last topic of our for chapter first. In some plant, a new plant can be developed from vegetative part like root, stem or leaf. This is known as vegetative propagation. Some plants such as Bryophyllum and Begonia produce adventitious bud on their leaf margins. When the leaf of such plant fall on the moist soil, these bud develop into new plantlets. So the leaf of such plant are thick, fleshy, thus they provide enough food and water to the new plantlets. So here is the figure of leaf of Bryophyllum showing vegetative propagation in the plant. Thank you.